Yeah, hair is eating per usual. Like,
this is really getting.
Literally, like.
Anyways.
Jesus, I want you.
Hey guys.
So welcome back to Wonderfully Made.
Yeah.
I'm Hope.
And I'm Sade.
For those who are new to this channel, we are a youth Christian podcast. You get it? Yeah. Where we talk about life, we talk about God, we talk about everything. Like, As well, I don't know if you can realize, but like, it's Sunday. We're at church, and yeah. So let's just get into it, right? So
Okay.
you want to see what the topic is?
Yeah. So today's topic is gonna be about leadership. Like, at first we were gonna talk about something totally different, but like,
well, you could still expect that video coming up soon.
We're gonna talk about something totally different, but then like the sermon today was about leadership and it applies to us so much. So we were like, we gotta talk about this.
Very much so. Oh, that's what I'm saying.
So yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, as Shai was saying, like, today we're just basically learning about leadership and Bible study. And like, I don't know, it just resonated with us so much because
Literally,
like, this year especially is a year that we're really in a lot of leadership roles, and I feel like it's very important to talk about leadership, not only in the Christian community, but just in general, like leadership in your school, with your friends, like, but anything.
And regardless, I feel like even if you're not in that leadership role, you can always still be a leader, like by what you say, how you act, just stuff you do. You don't have to have that certain name or title to be a leader.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think leadership is just like a position role. It's just how you carry yourself, how you act towards people. Like, are you like, starting conversations that are good conversations to be starting up, or are you just like following along with the crowd and stuff? So yeah, so I guess to get into it, right?
Okay, so let's ask the question that they asked. So they said the question today, basically surrounding the topic, is why do we think? Ooh, babes, please. I'm so sorry, like that bug is not it. But the question today was, why do people shy away from a leadership role, or like shy away from being a leader? And you can answer it.
So why do people shy away from a leadership role? I think one of the big reasons is because of responsibility. I think that people who are in leadership positions not only have the title of it, but you have the responsibility of carrying or leading someone or something. So I think that it's just like, to some people it could really be a heavy burden, because like, oh, it's like, I'm not only leading myself or carrying myself, but I'm carrying others along in this process. So I just really think that, like, if someone is not too careful, that responsibility can take control over them and make them not really ready for that position or ready for that role yet. So I think responsibility is a huge factor. I know I have more, but I can't really think of them right now. But yeah.
For me, we had a whole discussion about this, but like, I didn't feel the need to say anything because people already answered it. But what I would say is that I feel like people, well, for me personally, is the fear of misleading people. Like, when you're a leader, you're supposed to be leading people into the right direction. Well, for the leading role I'm talking about is leading people to God. So like, come to find out, you think you're leading people to God, and then you're actually not. Like, it's just, I just feel like that's it can be a burden, or it can be something that can weigh you down. It's like, dang, like, I really thought I was doing my best, and then it turns out I'm not. I'm doing worse than I imagined. And then another one, I feel like some people don't know how to be leaders. Like, what's it called? Like, because they were talking about like how people are supposed to be prepared into being a leader, being brought up into that, but some people really don't know. So it's like, I don't know, so I'm not gonna try. So yeah, I was gonna say something else too, but I forgot.
I definitely agree though with what Shari was saying, like the whole point. I think that one of the concerns, especially with like leading people. And I'm gonna say this. I think it could be with any leadership position, but I'm specifically talking about like Christian leadership, like Shada was mentioning. I think it's very strong and very important because, especially if you're a Christian leader, because you're going to be guiding people with like you're in that position where you're like helping people know your relation, like know their relation with God. And there's one Bible verse that they actually mentioned in Bible study that I actually wanted to say now, is that they said that like this is one of the most scariest Bible verses, when God says that their blood will be on your hands. That is scary because it's like if you're misleading someone, their blood will literally be on your hands. Like, and that's why I'm saying it's not only with Christian leaderships, it could be with friends. Are you really leading your friends to God? Like, you know, if you're leading them away, and it's, I feel like it's different if it's a relationship or a friendship that is not really growing or decreasing. You know, that's not really good, I guess. But my thing is, if you're taking so much apart from that relationship that you're literally making them like say that, you know, one thing that's scary to me that actually I heard in my life that was really made me think was like, oh, you're Christian, or like, oh, like, no, you're not Christian. Like that made me sad, because I'm like, dang, like my actions are not showing
like
that
who
I'm
am
Christian.
I actually representing then?
Honestly,
like, what am I doing?
What am I representing in my friendships, in my relationships, in any situation, or whoever I'm with? Who am I representing? That's really important in any case leadership. In any case with any leadership, who are you representing? Like, are you representing God, or are you just here for the fun of it? Like, with your friends, are you talking to them about God? Or are you talking down about it?
Like, one thing I want to mention, right, is like, you know, when you love something so much, like that's all you literally talk about. Like, I don't remember what it was, but I think I was watching or listening to a podcast, and like this girl was talking about like how her friends know she loved Jesus so much. Like, say for example, you have a best friend, and like regardless of anything, you will always find a way to bring them up because, you know, that's your best friend. Like, say for example, her friend will ask her, "Oh, do you like this?" She'll be like, "No, but my best friend loves this." Blah blah blah, and like having a conversation about that.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that, I don't know. Hopefully, I finished that thought. But yeah,
what she was just saying, like in your conversations, are God being caught up in your conversations? Like, do your friends know that, like, yo, like, this is my fault? It's like, to me, it's like, if we're, how do I say this? Like, and I know this happened to me one time actually, and I just let it slide, but I realized after a few years of growing my relationship with God that it was horrible for me. So my question is like, would you ever let someone disrespect their parents or your siblings or the people you love, right? But I would guess that's a no. But I feel like a lot of people now, it's becoming normalized for people to disrespect God because they don't believe in God. Does that make sense? Like, people be like, oh, well, you know, your view of God is different, blah, blah, blah. And they'll like disrespect in front of my face about God. And it's like, if you know I'm a Christian, you know, there's a certain boundary, a certain level that you should respect me as a friend. That you should be like, you can't say that around me, you know? So I just feel like that's very important. But going back to, what was the question was like,
why do people shy away from leadership?
Yeah, why do people shy away from leadership? Another reason why I wanted to mention was because I feel like people are very like
self-centered.
I wouldn't want to say like they like think about themselves. Yeah, self-centered. Like they think about themselves. Like, am I doing this wrong? Am I? And oh no, this is what I wanted to actually say. I think that when you're in a position of a leader, that you're put to a different expectation, right? And I agree that you should be held to a different expectation because people are looking at you. But at the same time, it's like everyone is looking for your flaws more than your successes. Like, that's what it seems to me. It just seems like people tend to point out flaws when you have like a leadership position.
That's very true. Like, they want to point out, like, you could do 100 things right, but that one thing you did wrong, they will never fail to bring that up
Never.
1,000 times.
And it's like, especially with like your walk with God, like it's kind of crazy to me how like Christian leaders, okay, so as I don't know if you guys know, but me and Shadi and I are both like co-leaders of a Christian club, right?
School.
And it's just like this is the reason why we wanted to talk about leadership. But it's like I feel like sometimes people think that just because you're a leader, you're not subject to flaws, or you're not subject to make mistakes or fail.
Like you're perfect.
Like you're
right.
perfect.
That's so true. Like literally, because you're a quote-unquote leader, they expect you to be perfect. They expect you to make no mistake. It's like they expect you to not be a human being anymore. Since like, okay, because from the outside looking in, like if I'm following someone, I expect them to be a certain way, blah blah blah. And it's like when they do one thing wrong, I'm like, oh, I can't listen to you no more. Like, but that's one thing. Like I was realizing too. Like I even do that myself. So it's like it's good to like, pick up on those things and self-correct as well, because you got to remember these people are human beings just like you. The difference is that they are trying to lead people, right? And it's so much easier trying to like sit there and judge someone than actually be in the position that they are in, leading someone.
Very much. I agree. I think that especially like before this year, I think I was very judgmental when it came to like leading. But yeah, so like I just think that it's like very as I was saying before, like an outsider looking in. Like, people I was very quick to be like, oh, like what they doing, like what the freak, like like what what's going on and everything. But then as I'm a leader now, I see that okay, I actually understand, like people point out your flaws so much, but I'm human too, like there you go.
Sorry. Yeah, I just want to say, and one thing I would say is, I feel like we're like this because we can educate ourselves too, but no one really like tells you what it's like being a leader, or like informs you how it is, or like just lets you know what's actually going on. So I feel like it would be better to educate yourselves, and for even us too, like to educate people so they don't have these misconceptions and just like these just random things, because it's like, yeah, because, like, obviously, like, if you don't know, you're obviously going to judge. You're obviously going to think a certain way. But once you know, like, see, because we know now, that's why our view on it has changed. So once you know and, like, you figure it out, it's like, dang, like, I see why. Like, I see that they're a human being, too. Like, I see, like, there's someone like me. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah. I just want to say, though, like, a word of advice to, like, anyone. It's just to anyone, basically. It's just don't be quick to judge. Like, don't judge, like, you don't know what people are going through. You don't know what, like, even leaders, the people that you might look up to are going through, like, don't be so quick to say something and, like, target them, like, honestly, like, really just be, what's the word? Just be empathetic, basically mindful, of what you say, of what you think, of the God, like even
like,
there's
always two sides of story.
Yes,
like,
there's always two sides
like,
of
perception is really, really something. But yeah.
What else?
I feel like since, like, are you basically done? We can ask like a different question.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say, like, what is something, like, how would we educate people on, like, what leadership is, or what is being a leader to you? I don't know if that's the
How would we educate people about being a leader?
Or what's being a leader? Or, like, what's a misconception that, like, changed now that you become a leader?
Okay.
Whichever question you want to answer.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to answer the last one. What's a misconception that changed? I think a misconception that changed for me is, like, people think, like, I don't know if people think or not, but, like, people might think that it's so easy to, like, lead, or, like, it's so easy. Like, okay, like this, right? Let's say there's, like, a school event going on, and, like, you didn't plan or anything. You're just going to it. Like, people might not think about the hard work that the people that spent time doing it, and, like, so you're just going to the school event, just going.
Right. Like, you're just, like, you have, it's like nothing to do with you. All you just have to do is show up.
Yes.
Literally.
But But then as I realized, like, this school year or, like, being, like, a leader in, like, different areas, I'm like, dang, like, it's actually stressful.
A lot of work goes into it.
It's very stressful.
Yeah.
Like, it's very, what's it called?
It takes a lot of work.
A lot of hard work, a lot of, like, responsibility. Because, honestly, like,
it just doesn't just happen. Like, people plan these things. Like, people are working towards them.
Like, as you're a leader now, you're not only focusing on yourself. Like, you're not only focusing on what affects you, but now you have to take into consideration what's affecting other people, what's affecting, you know, who's going to affect, who else is going to be affected by this decision or by this action that I do. So I just really think that's a misconception that's really not easy. It's not. But yeah, what about you?
I literally had one as you were speaking, but
they went away.
I don't know. Not too much. Okay, I'll just say a random one. Okay, so I feel like, so for me, I feel like it's like leaders don't mess up, or leaders or shouldn't mess up, you know, simply because they're leaders. But it's like, now that I am a leader and like seeing what I thought about the people last year that were leaders is like I understand. Not that I understand. I feel like, honestly, that's just the way I was thinking. Like, I wasn't being considerate, like, simply because they had the title leader. They have to be this perfect person. Like, they can't mess up. They have to do everything the correct way. But it's like me, myself, this year, it was literally my first year being a leader. And, you know, I didn't know what I was doing. But, you know, I was just doing it. I was just learning and, you know, growing at the same time. So it's like,
learning along the way.
Yeah, I'm learning along the way, but it's like, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Brain fart. But I actually want to talk about this topic though. I want to talk about I don't know why I'm having so much brain farts. The light
just went down.
Right, the light just disappeared. That's done. Anyways, one topic that I do want to talk about with leadership is not to forget God in it. I feel like that's really important because I think it resonates with me too. Because, like, the leadership roles that I have now, me personally, I'm a very, like, if you know me, like, I'm, with my friends, you know, I'm, like, energetic, all that stuff. But honestly, I would never think I would be able to take a leadership position because, like, of just how reserved I am. If that makes sense. And when God revealed to me last year about, like, this leadership position that I'm going for, it's like, I thought for me it was impossible. I was like, God, I don't know if I could be able to do this because, like, that's just not me. But then that's when God was like, He can take anyone and turn them into what He plans for their life. Like for Paul. I'm so sorry. I keep getting them mixed up. It was Paul first. It was Paul.
No, I think it was Saul.
Saul. Okay. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, it was Saul first. It was
Saul. So yeah, like how God took Saul and turned him from someone that was killing Christians to
on the way to as well, like
on the way to kill Christians, all the way to like one of the most known like prophets in the Bible. Like, that's so crazy to me, right? But my thing that I wanted to bring this up is that even though God might take you to somewhere big, don't lose Him in the process. Like, and that, as I said earlier, it resonates with me too, because I felt like I was starting to forget who put me in that position in the first place. You know, I was starting to forget that it was God that put me in that position. So I should be representing God. No matter what position I have, what leadership role I'm doing, that God should always be my top priority in everything, you know? So I just want to, like, just say that, you know, for anyone out there, leadership position or not, wherever God, because He said, Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11, that He has great plans for you. So wherever God wants to take you in life, make sure that you never forget Him, because He took you there, and He can definitely bring you back. But it's not, my whole thing was not just about bringing it back. It's just, you know, that's let's give God the glory where He, you know, let's give God the glory. Don't forget Him in the process of whatever you're doing or whatever you're at, basically.
Sorry guys, I'm taking off my shoes, like it's hurting really bad.
But yeah, break time. Well, not really break time, but like, how y'all doing? You know,
Yeah.
as we say in like every video, if you guys have any topics or anything you want us to talk about, please put it in the comment section.
Drop them below. You know, interact with us.
Interact. We love to see it. Honestly, we love
Follow
to
us
see
on Instagram. We should be making an Instagram.
Yeah, we should. We're gonna be making an Instagram and TikTok. We definitely have to be making both of them. We're gonna make both of them, and whenever we have them up, it's probably gonna be the same name that we have now, Wonderfully Made. But whenever we do have them, we will definitely inform and update. But for right now, you guys should definitely follow our personal Instagrams. Link below. Mine is mostly Hope, and hers is.
Mine is Dayski. I'm probably gonna change it again. It was Sade-ski, but like I don't like that, and I don't like Dayski either. Like,
yeah, I like shit. But anyways, is there anything else you want to talk about?
I feel like I have something. Sorry, guys, give me a minute.
This sun is hitting, y'all. This sun is real hitting. Anyways, sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Was it about leadership?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So one thing I do want to say, right, is that, you know, when you are given an opportunity to be a leader, right, and you're like, Hope as an example, how she just said, like, she never thought she would be a leader because of her personality. Like, sometimes don't make it all about you. Like, see what how God can be glorified through that. Like, what way you can bring people closer to God. Like, oh my gosh, you know what? Like, it's not, you get me?
But I actually, go
ahead.
I actually wanted to say about that too. Like, I remember last year, when we were doing Bible study, one of our friends that was preaching, he said that God can take the first and make them last, and the last first. Meaning that even though right now you might not see yourself as something, you might not know what God's purpose for your life is right now, you might just seem like you're just there, you're just here just to be here. Just know that it's not the end of your story.
Yeah.
Like, God can really turn any situation around. Like, if you don't see her, even as my mom, like, like, we remember having a similar personality. Like, we never really thought that, like, you know, we could be, like, you know, leaders and everything. But right now, my mom is, like, one of the women leaders of our, like, whole branch. Like, in our church branch. And it's just like, you know, like, these are examples. You know, even if you might lose hope or something, see these as examples. Like, don't lose hope. Don't lose LOL hope. Anyways, don't lose faith in God, because God is not finished done writing your story. Like, what is that? There's this one quote that I always hear people say, and I love that quote. Let God be the writer of your story. Let him be the author of your story. Give him the pen. Wherever you might think a period is in your story, God is turning it into a comma. So meaning that don't just stop your story there. God has so much more for you. And this is just a season of your life that he's working and building up for you. So don't lose that faith and that trust in God, because he got you. He got you. He knows for the plans I have for you. Like, he said we're a royal priesthood. Like, he don't say that just to say it. Like, he says it because he means it. We're his children. He loves us dearly. And whatever you would, and if he says that we're his children and he loves us dearly, that should be enough reassurance that says, you know, God is on my back. He got me. Like, I shouldn't be worried about the enemies. I shouldn't be worried about what people might say about me, about what I say about myself. Because what God says about me is above everything else. Every other situation, every other statement. What he says, like, literally,
I feel like what you just mentioned ties back into how people are, what does it call it? Like, thinking about me. Self-centered. Like, literally, don't just always think about yourself. Think about how God can use you to advance in that situation. Think about how that situation can be used to glorify God. Think of how many people you can bring to God. Like, not everything is always about you. Like, okay, sometimes you can, whatever. But not, like, every single thought. Me. Literally, we are called to bring more people to God. We're called to bring grace to God. Like, oh my God, what am I saying?
No, you tell me.
I was trying to say, oh my days, but then, oh my gosh. And then, yeah. But yeah. Honestly, though, I want to, like, just talk about my experience in being a leader. Like, literally last year, right? We were in this probably won't take long, but we were in a Christian club, and then, you know, me and Hope, we're thinking of, like, just leading, like, just giving a sermon or just being given a chance to, like, speak. We never thought, they would make us leader, co-leader. We never thought that. We just wanted to, like, preach, you know, like, talk about God to people and stuff. And then that's when, out of nowhere, he's like, oh, yeah, you guys are going to be the leaders of next year. And me, honestly, I'm going to tell you, I was so, like, unprepared. I was like, oh, me? No? Like, and, you know, honestly, though, as I kind of felt like, oh, you know, I shouldn't be a leader because, you know, my relationship with God is not even 100% yet, and I'm like, you get me? But, like, honestly, though, I feel like you can still lead people to God even if your relationship is not 100%, is that you're trying to get there, and in you trying to get there, you can help people try to get there as well, if that makes sense.
Good. Is that what you want to say?
No. Just free. Go ahead.
But yeah, like an example of that is literally this YouTube video, like and this YouTube channel. Like, we're both in a walking relationship with God, and it's not that we're perfect. It's not that our relationship with God is like 100% there yet. It's just like, as I said in the other videos, it's like you know, we go through the same things. Yeah. It's a fellowship. It's to help you guys. You know, so like, just to let you know that you guys are not in it by yourself. Like, I don't know, this is so off topic, but well, not so off topic, but like, I've been realizing that the same problems and things I go through, some other people be going through it. Like,
and you never know until you talk, until you fellowship. Like, which is why, your mom's doing. Which is why we're doing this channel. Well, we might have to leave though.
Honestly,
but
it was really nice talking about leadership. Yeah. But you guys should very much expect more videos from us. We're gonna. And if you guys want us to like expand on this topic, go deeper into, just let us know. Let us know in the comments. 2,
you feel me? Yeah.
But yeah, so it was. See y'all. I love y'all a lot. Bye.
Alright, you lot. No, that's from my channel. Oh, y'all should subscribe to my channel, by the way. It's, I don't even know. It's Sade. That's it. I'm probably gonna change it back to 𝐶𝐻𝐵𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻
See ya.
Later.
Bye.